welcome to this Elton John classic. Primarily a piano tune, but really comes across well on acoustic guitar. And of course I got the 12-string out because I've been on a 12-string phase here, but sounds great on a 6. So for the first part of this, we're going to strike the 5th and 4th string in a C chord shape. And then we're going to hit the 3, 2, and 1 string. Okay, and then we're going to add our pinky down onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. We'll strike that note. And we want to move also our middle finger to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, because we're moving into an F now. So what we have so far is this. Okay, and then you want to pick that small finger up and bring it up to your F shape, and you're just going to strike the 5, 4, and 3 strings. And with that downward motion, then you can hit the 3, 2, and then 3, 4. Okay, so as far as strings, 3, 2, 3, 4. So what we have all together . What I'm doing, I found that really helps is more of a rocking back and forth motion. When I'm throwing my finger down, bringing this down, putting that down, and maybe it sounds silly, but that worked for me. Do it slow, start it slow so you get this in your muscle memory, and then just work through it. Alright, you'll have that down in no time. So that's the intro. He does that 4 times. Okay, then we're into the actual verse. We're going to start out on a C chord and then to an F. And I'm just using this form of F rather than a bar because we're just going to be moving back and forth. So it's much easier. So we do a half measure of C, half measure of F. Then we'll repeat that. Half measure of C, half measure of F. So that's when he sings Blue Jean Baby and then LA Lady. So we have this. Now what you can do, just as a little nuance to add some interest to the song, is hammer into that 3rd string at the 2nd fret, so it'll sound like this. And I'm really not hitting that 1st string, I'm just playing the middle 5 through the 2nd string. I mean, you can, if you catch it, that's fine, but 3rd measure of the verse, he stays on the C for a full measure, and then we're going to do a half measure of F and a half measure of G. So let me play that for you, because he starts out the C, and then he'll start singing. Seamstress for the band. And then he does a little. So you're going from F, you're just moving that up to the 3rd fret, that form. But this will get you through it. So let's do the verse. We'll do half measure of C, half measure of F twice, and then we'll do a full measure of C, then a half measure F and G. So it goes like this. Okay, and then you're back into it. So we repeat that one more time. Have a full measure of C, then G. Now he's going to come back. This is where we start like a pre-chorus. So then we're into like a pre-chorus. And we're coming out with a full measure of C and then to a half measure F and G. And then he starts singing about ballerina, you must have seen her, dancing in the sand. Okay, we're at that point. That's what I consider the pre-chorus. So I'm going to go through that at speed, and then I'll show you what I'm doing there, okay? So we're going to pick it up from the last verse, last measures. Okay, so we'll stop there. So this, like I said, pre-chorus, we're going to an F. Ballerina, when it goes into the rena, you go to an E minor, okay? Then You Must Have Seen Her, we start with an A minor 7th. So we're on the 1st fret of the 2nd string and 2nd fret of the 4th string. Okay, Must Have Seen Her. Okay, and then we're going to do a D over F. And to play that, D over F sharp. So I've got the F sharp note played with my 1st finger. I've got the 5th and 4th open. I'm going to cover the 3rd string at the 2nd fret and the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. And I'm not playing the 1st chord or 1st string. Must Have Seen Her. Okay, and then we go to an F, but we're going to leave the A open. Dancing in the... Then we'll go to an E 7th, so we're going to play... you can do this a couple ways after doing this chord. You can do an E 7th this way, where you're on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, follow that up on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd string, 1st fret. Okay, or what I do is I just play it with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret, and the 5th string, 2nd fret. And then an A minor 7th, because I can just take that form and move it down one. So we're just going to do an A minor 7th, okay? So, dancing in the sand, and then there's a G. See how I go from that to this G, the A minor 7th, to this G? So it kind of flows if you can play a G like this, but if you do it this way, that's fine. All right. Just a tip. Then we're back into our C and F for a half measure of C, half measure of F. Okay, now this next section's a little different. It's where we would hold a C for a full measure, and we're going to do that, but we're going to change up the next part. We're going to go from a G, F, C, and then to a D minor 7th. He goes G, F, C, and there's a quick D minor 7th. So it sounds like this. I go from a G, an F, to a C with E in the bass. So it's a C over E. And then we're going to do a D minor 7th. So rather than play that F over A, we're just going to play the 1st and 2nd string over the 1st fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and do an up strum. It's the only time he really does that in the song. The rest of the song he just plays it as a normal chord. Here's the chorus at speed. And that just repeats. So what we're doing for the chorus, we're going from an F to a C over E. So we're playing that E open to a D minor. Then we're going, so we go from C to F. You hold that F into a C. Then you go to a G. You're holding that for a full measure. So that's what's different in the second half of the chorus. Rather than going to a D minor, you're going up to a G. So again, the chorus slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold that G. that just keeps repeating throughout the chorus. So if you get that intro going and get the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge down, and like I suggest, write these chords down in the order that they come. It helps a lot. That's how I taught it. And I'll do a playthrough so you can see how this goes with the song. I hope you guys enjoy.